Thanks everyone for coming here. Kind of look forward to jumping in this one and diving into it. Quick show of hands. How many people here are OEM users of something that uses a medical or a conductive paste? So a little bit of OEMs. How many are tier one, tier two, manufacturers, assemblers, printers, whatever it may be? All right. And the rest of everybody here, I'm just assuming are competitors that are here to steal some information. So we'll just kind of go forward with that. Yeah. Hey, at least someone's honest about it. No, really looking forward to talking about this. I will tell you right now, this is a very high level presentation. Oftentimes when I give these presentations, I find that the best way that they're received is to start at the nuts and bolts, the most basic that we can, go back to elementary school and work our way kind of through that. Let's see here, as we're trying to use the buttons here. There we go. I'm not going to get too much into the portfolio, but I am with Heraeus here. We are an electronics manufacturer. Most of you probably know us from the Surmet side. We've been in Surmet since the 1960s. We've recently made the foray over into the printed electronics side, which uses the same materials, same polymer flakes and everything that we already have from manufacturing. Perfect bolt-on acquisition. I myself kind of joined about a year ago. I've spent about 25 years in the polymer thick film industry, doing everything from paste development, manufacturing, process refinement, all the way through my true focus, which is business development and focusing on OEM trends for end-use devices, so I can teach my customers how their customers are looking to use our products to make a better product for tomorrow. So today is kind of just to peel back the curtain a little bit and talk about us as paste manufacturers and how we can work together with OEMs and the tier ones yourself, and how imperative it is for that relationship to exist in order for the industry as a whole to grow into the level that we're looking to take it into. Had a great presentation before talking about the glucose sensors and how phenomenally they're doing as a great example of printed electronics, making the foray into additive technology for medical sensors. But there's really better places that we can go and move forward from there. So kind of taking a look at this presentation, as I mentioned, I broke it down kind of into three different areas that we're going to be looking at. First of all is, what is a silver chloride ink? So we call it a silver chloride ink, but really what's in there? What makes it functional and how do we use it? The second part is to kind of take a look at what are the limitations. So what kind of hurdles are we as paste manufacturers running up against that's going to affect your ability to create the next device of tomorrow? And really that's the core focus of this presentation. And finally, how can the industry grow, taking out the crystal ball and looking at everything in the future? How can it grow based on those limitations? Now, I will tell you, this next part cuts a little deep depending on what side of the fence you're on, but I exist on both sides of the aisle, so we'll kind of talk about it. So I'm going to ask the question of, what's the only thing that's worse than an engineer who functions in a sales capacity? That's a salesperson who's working in engineering. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm working at both, so I get cut on both sides of this discussion here. You are today going to be talking to a salesperson who's going to be speaking a little bit engineering. So as I mentioned, very high level. Jumping into the discussions here. What is a silver chloride ink? We all are in here because we've used some sort of a polymer thick film, manufacture some polymer thick film based material. Silver conductive ink, or a silver chloride ink, basically at its core is a blend of silver flakes, silver chloride flakes. It's going to be a resin system and a solvent system. Solvent system is there purely to make the whole thing liquidize, make it into a flowable material that can be functioned through processing, whether it's screen printing, aerosol jetting, pad printing, for myriad of other technologies that exist out there as well. Resin is basically just there to hold the silver and silver chloride together. The only function of that is basically to hold particles together and adhere them to the substrate. That is it. It is a necessary evil within the formulation. It also provides some tertiary segments as well to other alternative solutions that we're looking for, whether it's the longevity of the circuit or how long it's going to be functional. But the main purpose is really to hold those conductive particles together. So when I say silver chloride, what do I mean? Silver chloride is basically a salt material of silver that's used in the functional electrodes. It's really a blend of silver and silver chloride flakes that are going to be together. And that blend right there, the two different materials within a silver chloride material, is what makes it so difficult as a paste manufacturer to implement some of the existing technology advancements that are happening within printed electronics into medical devices. I'll touch on that more in a second here. But really looking at the silver and silver chloride powders. As I said, it's a blend. You as people who use these materials know that you're buying a blend, and that's really the core business of what a printed conductive material is for silver chloride. Those blends can be adjusted by us relatively easily, but I will tell you as paste manufacturers, we very rarely know exactly what